Well, yeah, you used to think, okay, that person's competition. I want to know that person. I want to talk to that person. But you know what? Not everybody can do everything. And if I can't do something, another person can't do something. And if we can trade, say, well, I can't help Fred out, but can you help out Fred? That's value to me because Fred's being taken care of by somebody I know and trust instead of me just showing Fred and say, Fred can't help you, good luck. If I can say, Fred, go see Jim, go see Bob, go see Tom, they'll take good care of you. That's value to me.
And those business relationships will come back later, maybe not very directly and maybe not very soon, but they'll always come back to you in some form or fashion, business related or even personal related.
Absolutely. Now, someone wants to start a business. It's been a dream of theirs. Now they have the opportunity to do so. What do they do?
Well, let's look at two different sets of people. One would be folks that have been forced into finding another job, in other words, laid off from where they are. Most of those folks have been at those particular jobs anywhere from 5 to 15 years.
Some even longer.
Some even longer. Those people usually have some type of retirement plan built up for that. What I run into are folks that just want to cash that out, and they'll use the cash in order to open up their business. So if they do
That's
that...
not very dangerous, is it?
Well, it's kind of economically not real good idea, so to speak. You pay a 10% penalty on that just for touching the money, and then you pay income tax on it the year you take it. If you get out, though, and your business is going to be viable enough that you can form it into a corporation, you can roll that 401k money or that retirement money into your new corporation, into your new 401k, turn that all into stock, and then you have the entire amount out there available to you as money to use in your business. This is not hocus pocus or unethical. Everything's above board on doing that. There are a few things you have to do in order to make that happen, but now you have the whole $200,000 to work with instead of like $110,000. So it's something I try to get folks to understand that they can do. So vis-a-vis, let's say that you've done that and you do have some cash to start up a business. You need to figure out what it is that literally floats your boat. Don't go into a business just because it's there, that you're not going to stay. And if you're in business for yourself, you're into a good 60 to 80 hour work week now. So this is something that you'd best have some passion for. You'd best have the backing of home for, if not both of you working down there with what you're doing.
Right.
But those are the two main things that you got to get over, if you will, with what you're doing. Is there money out there to help you start your business? There are no grants out there to help you start it. There are obviously loans out there to help you start it. This is where your credit score comes into being again. And the credit score itself, right now, banks are looking for 720 or better to loan money. That's even with the SBA backing. The Small Business Administration does not have money that they loan out. What they do is they guarantee loans. You still have to go through a bank in order to get the type of funding that you need in order to start a business. Generally, what the banks are looking for and what the SBA is looking for is at least 10% of whatever the startup cost is going to be of the business that you front yourself. That 10% can be, and what a lot of folks do is when they're getting ready to get into a business, they buy computers, they buy printing things, they buy office equipment, that type of stuff. All that counts as part of that 10%. Now, if you buy it with a credit card, it doesn't count. If you buy it with cash and check, that counts because that's real money. Credit money is not real money as far as the bank's concerned for that 10%. Something that people need to keep in mind.
Okay, let's say, I wake up one day and say I want to start my own business, and maybe I want to start a tree service. Okay, or I want to be a caterer, or maybe I just want to be an office helper type thing, whatever. What things are running in my mind? How do I get the business? How much is it going to cost? Where do I set up shop? So I need to put together some sort of plan. I really don't know what I'm doing. Where do I go? Who do I go for help? Because I'm looking, I'm a genius all of a sudden now, but I just need some structure, some help.
Right.
Who do I go to help me get this structure so I can have a focus to success?
One of the very first places I would encourage anybody to go is down to your local SCORE office. Down here in Cincinnati, we have like 80 plus counselors.
And where is the SCORE office located?
The SCORE office for us is located down in the Federal Building, downtown Cincinnati.
550 Main Street?
Correct.
Okay.
The easiest way to get to that type of help, though, is to go to www.scoreworks.org. And page will come up and there'll be a square in there. Ask for counseling. You fill in what it is that you want to do. They will try to match you up with a counselor who either has some idea of what it is you're doing, Or, like in my case, I'm up in the Westchester area, they'll match people up there with me because of geography.
So it's a pretty easy experience, pretty pleasant, not scary.
Nope,
Just
not at all.
talking about this is what I want to do.
And it's no cost.
So it's, okay, so I just have this idea. I don't even have to act on it. I'm not obligated to anything.
Correct.
Just say, here's my idea. Do you think I have any hope with it? Do you think I'm wasting my money? Or do you think there's hope, but I need to do this way or that way? Talk about what my goals are to see if they're realistic. And if they are realistic, are they profitable? Or am I going to have to fund it? And maybe in this particular situation, I really can't afford to fund it. I really need to make money. So what do I do? You'll help me put together a business plan? Or tell me how to do it?
We'll tell you how to do it. We're counselors, not consultants. There are consultants around here if you need the type of help where somebody physically does the writing for you for making up your own business plan. But we do have templates and outlines that we'll be glad to give you on this is what you need to think about in order to write a business plan. And business plans in and of themselves, there's two types, one where you're self-funding and one where you're trying to go down to the bank and get money from them, because there's a particular order they want to see things in.
Right. Now, a lot of people say, I want to start a business, I want to start with my friend. Or if I'm going to do it myself. How do I set it? Because all of a sudden, we have the one thing about, starting a business is a big job.
Big job.
It's huge. Because I want to start this business, I want to do this and this and this and this, so that's fantastic, and I'm going to make a lot of money, I'm going to sell muffins, or whatever it is.
Okay.
But then on the other side, you're going to market it, and sell it, and price it, and what do you use for ingredients? It's going to be a lot of fun. Now there's the other side of it, where, okay, now I have to invoices, bill people. How do I set my business up that is the best advantage, takes care of the best advantage for my situation? If I'm by myself, do I just do a Schedule C, which means sole proprietorship for folks that aren't aware of it? Do I do an LLC? Do I do subchapters? What do I do? There's so many different things.
Well, that's something that you and your SCORE counselor can go over to kind of decide which is best for you for getting the business started. And whatever it is that you are when you start the business does not necessarily mean that's the way that has to remain as you keep going along. What I like a lot of folks to understand is, as a sole proprietor, when you're starting your own business with within the state of Ohio, the things you have to consider are the taxation of the monies that you're going to have coming in. Is this your only means of income? And if it is, then maybe a limited liability corporation might be a better thing. LLC. To form an LLC, you download a form from the Secretary of State, you fill it out, you pay them $125, and you're done. It's not very complicated. There are a lot of folks around here who profess themselves to be job enablers, and they'll charge you $500 to do that $125 job, thereby making $350 for themselves. Might be something that you might want to go into. It's a very lucrative business.
Sounds like it. Find out.
And it's done every single day because people just don't know. Do you need to become a C Corp or an S Corp? Probably not when you're first starting. Again, it depends on how the funding's coming down, depends on what you're trying to do, depends on if you're a nonprofit, not-for-profit, for-profit business, that type of thing, and all three of those are set up differently. But what's your objective? What are you trying to achieve? Can you make money as a nonprofit? Of course you can. There's plenty of them around here. Obviously, they wouldn't be in business if they didn't have a profit that they made. You have to have operating capital. Doesn't matter what your organization is. There's different taxations for what you do. There's different liabilities for what you do. There's different insurance requirements for what you're doing. Those are all the types of things you need to think about when you're getting ready to go into this business.
Yeah, operating a business is a very exciting thing because, when one time I owned a piece of a restaurant chain, and people asked me, how many hours did I work? And I said, all of them.
That's correct.
And I was a younger guy, and I was having a lot of fun doing it. But now people say, well, what am I going to do with this, with that? There's just so much coming at people when they do their own business. And one of the things is the excitement level and the passion when someone opens their own business is absolutely incredible. And you don't want to do anything to bring that down. But at the same time, I think sometimes unrealistic viewpoints. I'm going to make I'm going to do I'm going to make a lot of money doing this, that, and that. And all of a sudden, so the goals are right here, or the expectations are right here, where maybe they realistically are here. And then the cash that's needed, I only need this much cash, but then ends up being this.
Usually does.
So now you have the realism of what can be done cash-wise, and then you have the realism of what the expense is. A little bit of a discrepancy.